What's up guys, Lazy Goldmaker. Today we're going to talk about how to make gold with Enchanting in Dragonflight. Specifically we're looking ahead for 10.2 launch, where hopefully prices are going to take off a little bit. So let's take a look. Dragonflight Enchanting at launch was one of the most big sale professions. I'm not sure if it was profitable, but prices on like Sophic Devotion and Enchant, some of you will remember, this was extremely expensive back in the day. It's not extremely expensive anymore, and it's not always profitable. It's possible, but we're just going to take a look at what you need. Now, the number one thing is that most of the recipes here have really high recipe difficulty, which means that you're pretty much not getting to max quality without inspiration. You are relying on inspiration procs, so your inspiration stat needs to be high. Obviously, I have a full inspiration tool, which brought out up the profit, and you also obviously need to have maxed out your inspired devotion node and as many inspiration pieces of stat bonuses as you can from the profession tree. That's very important. Now you're also selling enchants. They're all sold on the region-wide auction house. What does that mean? It means that every last little bit of extra resourcefulness, extra inspiration, extra skills you can get into the territory where you get hidden skill value. Hidden skill value is the random bonus what you get every time you craft, which if you're close enough to the max to the recipe difficulty, sometimes you'll get a quality 3 item even if you don't get an inspiration proc. Now, since you need almost every bonus, or at least a very large number of bonuses for some of these recipes, it means that if you want to do enchanting, you need to have a lot of profession knowledge. Like, you will not be able to compete if you don't have these 100 points. Absolutely, these are necessary for literally everything. This is the base node, which adds a lot of plus skill and loads of plus skill. Then you have the inspiration node, gives you tons of plus inspiration. Then you have the resourcefulness node, which gives you extra resourcefulness, and obviously the bonuses to resourcefulness. Those are all completely necessary. Then you need to have maxed out any nodes in the relevant skill tree. So if you want to have Sophic Devotion, if you want to craft them, then you probably need to have maxed out enchantment for skill and resourcefulness and inspiration, maxed out primal, and maxed out Sophic. Then on top of that, for at least for some of them items, you also need to max out this disenchanting tree, because there are various +5 resourcefulness, +5 inspiration, and most crucially +5 skill. This is where you get enough skill to where it can actually get you into hidden skill value territory, so the territory where you're getting max quality at a higher rate than just your inspiration chance. So all told, if you want to max out, if you want to be sure to max out one specific weapon enchant type, so Sophic Devotion, then you need 90 points here, 120 points in Inside of the Blue, and 100 points here, putting it about 310 points total. That's a lot of points. So if you're not already farming knowledge, then start doing it if you want to use enchanting. So we're going to take a look. Weapon enchants, this is where the largest potential money is. This is where you can sell enchants still for multiple thousands of gold. If you want to get the maximum chance to proc here, you need the Inside of the Blue. Where is it? It's this one. This final node of primal extraction. This allows you to shatter elements, so the elemental shatter. And when I now shatter and awaken frost, then I'll get a little buff up here. I'll get a little buff, which for the next 10 minutes, it gives me +25 skill whenever I'm crafting something that uses frost essences. So when I go back to Frozen Devotion now, we can see that I have 402 skill, which is into hidden skill value territory. If I click this off, then we're 377. That's lower. So this is very important, particularly if you have the racial as well. That will give you a significant bonus and get you into where you're proccing at a slightly higher rate. But even then, it might not be profitable. So the other way to get max quality here is obviously to use the Illustrious Insight, which means farming up a lot of metal. A lot of metal. It's 50 metal for each Illustrious Insight, and for the weapon enchants, you need the big ones. And then obviously you also need the skill bonus from doing an elemental shatter. But that is how you make this That's going to make this a lot more profitable if you can get if you use the metal. So farming metal on your enchanter is also very, very important. Now, obviously, these epic weapon enchants isn't the only recipes you have here, but they are only the ones with the highest price and the highest potential to be expensive when the patch rolls around. The cheaper weapon enchants are kind of interesting because you can actually reach max quality on these consistently with the same build. That being said, the profit margin is really thin here. We can see I don't have a max quality resourcefulness tool, so I'm missing about 25-30 resourcefulness, which would give me a little bit more profit, but even then we're not making much except for the earth and writ right now. I have made gold with this in the past, but right now they're very, very thin. We'll see if the patch changes anything. They might not, because they're not that cheap. Like a Sophic Devotion quality 2 is just a little bit more expensive, or even a quality 1, which is actually better than the Sophic Writ quality 3, at least when I checked. Or it's slightly behind. So I don't see these as going to sell really well. They can sell. I have sold them, and if they're profitable, then you need a lot of skill, but just 300. So you can see that I have 77 skill, more than I need for the Sophic enchant, for instance. Which does mean that the barrier to entry in terms of knowledge is a lot lower. Then you also have all of the other enchants. Devotions, ring devotions. You can see that these are profitable. At least most of them are. Not bringing in huge amount of money, and if I swap to inspiration gear, then we would be seeing much bigger numbers here, because you're just proccing quality 3. You can make 55 gold each, almost doubling my gold crafting devotion of mastery. That's pretty good. Same with the boot enchants, slightly a higher difference here with like all of the money coming from quality 3. You have bracer enchants for secondary stats. You have the chest enchants, which typically aren't good, but I'm going to mention them anyway. Maybe it's possible if you have the right stats, but this is looking kind of bad. Or maybe you can even you can get into hidden skill value territory here for sure. So yeah, there are a lot of enchants that are profitable. If you go for the other weapon slot or the non-weapon slots, they are more easy to. The only downside here is that the gold prices are a lot lower. So for the weapon or for the ring enchants, you're looking at 200-300 gold per max quality enchant, which is just not that much. You're gonna spend a lot of time crafting, and then you can spend a lot of time posting, a lot of time reposting, and it's just going to be a very relatively small amount of gold. So the main thing I would do, what I'm planning to do, is just to keep stocking up on as much metal as I can, and I'm going to spend all my metal crafting quality 3, guaranteed quality 3 enchants. In the patch, when you're guaranteeing, you can also swap to resourcefulness gear to even further increase your profits. And that's what I would go for. Hopefully we see Sophic, we see the enchants go up in price a little bit. I don't expect them to explode, but I would not be surprised to see them selling more expensively for a period of time after the patch. So yeah, that's it for enchanting. Good luck.